The following video shows real people sharing their very personal stories. These are not actors, so before watching, please be aware that the video can contain triggers.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I learned to be ashamed of all my scars.
Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are.
I struggle with major depression with atypical features.
You are not alone.
I work in a correctional facility for men. I come face to face with mental illness on a daily basis.
1 person out of every 5 struggles with a mental health condition.
I've been fighting a battle with maniac depression since 2010.
Nearly half of the people who suffer from mental health conditions also struggle with substance abuse issues due to a lack of access to care.
I suffer with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, survivor's guilt, and eating disorders.
People living with serious mental illness face an increased risk of having chronic medical conditions.
Most of my childhood and teen years are hidden to me due to dissociative amnesia.
Statistics show an increase in the amount of people suffering from mental illness, yet access to care continues to decline.
I battle with major depression, PTSD, and acute anxiety.
56% of people with mental illness go untreated, and that's just based on the number of people who admit they have a problem. We really need to talk about this.
I've struggled with depression, with suicidal ideations, and a tendency towards self-harm since childhood. I was also diagnosed with a dissociative identity disorder.
There's a social stigma surrounding mental illness that makes people afraid to seek treatment.
I've struggled with anxiety. For years, I didn't tell anyone.
We don't judge people when they have a heart or lung condition, but those who suffer from conditions of the mind are labeled as crazy or sometimes even dangerous.
Depression is a disease that becomes lethal when you choose to let it be so.
70% of suicide victims suffered with major depression or bipolar disorder.
I see people struggling with mental health issues every day. I've been a part of many mental health programs in place to help inmates. I just wish people could be reached before they got to this point.
On any given day, between 300 and 400,000 people with mental illnesses are incarcerated in jails and prisons across the United States alone.
It's always up and down. One day I feel good, and the next day I'm too depressed to leave the house.
Every mental disorder is unique and comes with its own set of symptoms, but they share a common thread, and that's loneliness.
I feel like no one likes me, that I don't deserve to be liked. I feel like I'm worthless, that I don't belong. I'm so isolated. I've battled suicide since I was 13.
I remember the big things, the great joys and the big traumas that kept me isolated and caused this. It's the things between them that are unavailable to me, and it has me constantly sitting like I'm on the outside looking in, wondering if I'll ever belong, or would anyone accept me if they could see me.
Sometimes all people really need is to be heard, even if it's for the 1000th time. We need to keep listening, we need to keep caring.
I was abused during my childhood, the most impressionable years. I have no self-worth, and I struggle every day with simple tasks, all because I'm never good enough.
There's only so much that our mental health care system can do. They're understaffed and underfunded. It's up to the rest of us to do our part.
I spent most of my life just wishing someone would help me. Couldn't they see how much pain I was in? Why wouldn't they help me? When I finally realized that no one ever would, I started helping myself.
To call that friend whose depression used to bring you down and reconnect. Listening is hard sometimes, but having no one to talk to, that's so much harder.
I thought people would think I was crazy, so I struggled in silence. It was also eye-opening for me. It made me realize what so many others might be secretly going through.
Darkness cannot exist in the presence of light. Be that spark that ignites your whole world. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. For we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down,
Gonna send a float, gonna drown out.
I am brave, I am bruised,
I am who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
and I'm marching on to the beat I drum.
I
scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me.
Keep fighting the beast and be determined that you will win. Seek out help and keep asking until you get good help.
My last hospital stay was in 2016. I used to have panic attacks and bad nightmares, but that's getting better. I just have to be careful my whole life.
I'm blessed with a special needs son. I know he will need me to be there for him his entire life. I am stronger than I believe, and I'll keep going no matter what.
I hope I can learn to be kinder to myself and see my own self-worth. I need to have a higher opinion of myself.
For me, it's not about trying to feel good all the time. It's more about trying to feel better in each moment. What can I do to feel a little bit better right now?
Sometimes I find myself sitting at a red light, wondering if the person in the car next to me is struggling like I have. Say a little prayer for them, just in case.
Another round of bullets hits my skin.
We'll fire away, 'cause today I won't let that shit sink in.
We're bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun.
We are warriors. Yeah, that's what we become.
Let them break me down, 'cause I know that there's a place for us. Oh, we are glorious. And the sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna set a fire, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
And marching on to the beat I drum.
I'm not scared to be seen.
I make no apologies.
This is me. This is me.
I'm gonna send a flight, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is proof, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
Look out, 'cause here